Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has promised to increase funds for the art and liberalize the process of its acquisition if elected president. The former vice president made the promise during a special roundtable discussion with Nigeria's creative, cultural, and innovative industry stakeholders in Lagos. The meeting was aimed at strengthening the country's booming entertainment space and cultivating more unifying support in championing Nigeria's creative expression. The presidential candidate also acknowledged that the creative industry was a vital industry capable of immense wealth creation and generates huge employment opportunities. The PDP vice presidential candidate Ifeanyi Okowa on this part says all efforts and requests made by the practitioners in the creative sector will be properly articulated just as promised by the party's candidate. Now let's turn to Taraba State, where reactions have continued to trail recent judgments which upheld the governorship primaries of the All Progressives Congress and People's Democratic Party that produced Senator Emmanuel Bouacha and Abu Kefas respectively. Correspondent Olabi Adenusi filed this report.
It appears it is not yet Uhuru for the APC and PDP in Taraba State. Mixed views have been expressed by the party chieftain over the court judgments. The Director General of the Campaign Committee of the gubernatorial candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the state, David Kente, told TVC that his principal may end up at the Supreme Court if the party internal mechanism fail to address their grievances. He is supported by a chieftain of the party who insists that the battle is far from being over.
Our principal, Chief David Sabo Kente, is going to meet with his team of lawyers, study the case, and liaise with the party in order to arrive at the best decision for the party.
I might not say the appeal court has visionary defects, but at least two heads are better than one. So if the two courts, the Federal High Court in Jalingo, that is Taraba State, and the High Court in Abuja, have all affirmed that there was no conduct of primary election in Taraba State, that is APC primary election in Taraba State, then it means the two heads cannot all be wrong. But if an appeal court is keeping the case aside, we all believe that court is the eyes of the law. So we wouldn't know the focal length the appeal court used in disallowing two courts that have ruled in favor of the reality.
The PR to the ruling PDP in the state notes that the court judgment is a testament that PDP did the right thing during its primaries. It says the road is now clear for the candidate to start campaigning fully.
The People's Democratic Party Taraba State chapter is delighted to take this time to thank the judiciary most profoundly for her two great verdicts that have clearly vindicated the party in the state and her processes that threw up our governorship candidate.
The leadership of the two major political parties in Taraba are in the process of appealing to their aggrieved members to shed their swords.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 56-year-old trafficker on a mission to deliver 400 grams of illicit drugs concealed in a pair of palm sandals to Saudi Arabia. NDLEA operatives attached to the screening point of the Murtala Muhammed International Airport in Lagos intercepted an individual with a pair of black palm sandals packaged in a luggage. A thorough examination of the sandals revealed they were used to conceal 2 parcels of cocaine weighing 400 grams. This is barely a week after a 56-year-old widow and mother of 4 was arrested at the airport over her attempt to traffic 400 grams of cocaine. Also wanted notorious Kingpin, popularly known as Teacher, who recruits moles for drug cartels, was arrested by operatives of the NDLEA. In the same vein, operatives attached to narco import shed of the Lagos airport intercepted a consolidated cargo from Johannesburg, South Africa, via an Air Peace airline flight. Nigerian youths have been cautioned against illegal migration so as to ensure they elect the right leaders to fix Nigeria and make her a nation of their dreams. The charge was part of admonition at the Conference of Southeast Youths held in Enugu State. We have details in this report.
Youths are regarded as the engine room of development in every society. Available reports shows that investment in human capital development leads to transformation and economic growth of every society. National Bureau of Statistics 2022 data places Nigerian population at 216 million and 76% are within the active production age. The data reveals further that the country's poverty rate increased to 133 million and over 20 million out-of-school children, with a tax on government to salvage the country's economic situation. At this International Youth Conference held in Enugu, with the theme Shaping the Future, different speakers blame the decline in the nation's education standard to leadership gap. They attribute substantial investment in education and human capital development as panacea to revolutionize the expected quantum leap developmental stride in the country.
So what can we do? We have to reform our educational system. We have to employ the resources that we have, the skill sets that we have, and make sure that we have right people in the right place.
And so the quality of your education sector depends on the quality of your political leadership.
The Labour Party presidential candidate charges Nigerian youth to participate actively in next year's election by electing competent leaders to rule the country.
So all of you know the trouble. What are we going to do this? Next year's election, we must elect people who are competent.
The convener of the youth conference challenged the youth not to slack but to take responsibility by ensuring they elect the right leaders into public offices.
Over the time, we have heard always that the future belongs to young people. That future is today, that future is now, and it is time for us as young people to take actions, to take responsibility and ownership for our own country.
The youth conference featured a seminar, panel interactive session with the hope that the young leaders will take responsibility of their future from today. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.